What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the Aces High podcast. We're your hosts, Mariah and Ty. Ty, what's up? Happy Monday. Good to see you. How you doing?
What's up? Happy Monday. I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. Just watched the championship game, so I'm feeling good. It's a good Monday. How are you?
Hanging in there, hanging in there. Yes, Unrivaled. Let me put this up real quick. Then we'll get into it. There we go. Unrivaled championship just finished with the Rose winning it all. A team, that they just spoke a lot about, that, people counted out. A team that, even though they had a lot of fans, obviously because of mostly because of Angel, for being honest, they were getting a lot of hate too. I guess with Angel's fans also come all the Angel hate. And then it seems like any team, that she's on that's popular also gets a lot of haters, right? So
Yeah.
Guess, the coach just said, what they gonna say now? Because a team too that dealt with a lot of injuries. Even two of their starters out for the playoffs, yesterday and the finals game today. Obviously, Chelsea Gray completely, I hated it because it was against my laces, but I had even put a post out before the game, like, at least if there's going to be anybody else in the finals besides the laces, like, I'm glad it's the Rose and Chelsea. And Chelsea showed up to that game yesterday and just completely fucking took over. Like, there was no, the Rose is losing, like, over her freaking, dead body. Like, she just, wow. And then tonight, it just seemed like Vinyl's plan was kind of to take away Chelsea. Obviously, they were doubling her. I don't know if you could triple team when there's only 3 people out there, but like what? There's some crazy stuff going on. And then at the beginning of tonight's game, Chelsea's shot was way off too. She was like airballing, like. And I'm just like, the whole time, like, I'm yelling at the TV like she can hear me, like, Chelsea, calm down. It's okay. Settle into your game. You got this. Like, because I just felt like, she went into the game, maybe was feeling like, well, like if I don't step up and do this, then who? Right. But luckily, the other 2 starters tonight did show up and had great games. And it was a complete, team win tonight. But yeah, and shout out, let me real quick before I get your thoughts. Shout out to one, Coach Nola Henry, the coach of the Rose, 30 years old, the youngest coach in Unrivaled, had probably the biggest task to take on the biggest personalities, the most, like all this crazy stuff she had to take on with that. And people, like, I remember them talking shit, like when they, got their teams assigned and whatever, and it was announced that Angel was on her team. Like, oh, how's a 30-year-old blah 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 gonna control this? And yeah, like they act like Angel's like the Tasmanian devil, like thrown out there, like like people can't, like she's a problem child or something, like it's just crazy that the narratives that get spun. But she did it, like. She freaking did it. And then, the coach of Vinyl, for them to go through the season they went, Teaspoon, like, let's not forget all the hate that she was just coming off of in the WNBA. And then when, like, I was so excited. Remember, we were so happy when they announced that she was going to be coaching in this, because we were like, like felt like she kind of got the bad end of the situation over there in Chicago, right? And it was like, we just wanted her to like get an opportunity to show what she's really capable of. Like, because we know, like, that there was more, right? Like, you could tell. And it just like seemed at the end of the season when she was coaching in Chicago, she was like defeated, right? Like we just like, she had like no life left, like no smile, no, like it just became like an overwhelming situation, it seemed like in there. So to see her coming to Unrivaled and just, get the opportunity and get her team to the finals, like shout out to
you know what I'm saying?
And to the whole Vinyls, squad too, for making it to the finals. Like I thought for sure the way that this was all set up, that it was set up to obviously for the Owls to win, because it just seemed like everything was set up, in the Owls' favor this season. And even when I saw the playoffs and it was like, okay, the Rose going against the Laces, and it was like the Vinyl going against the frickin' Hootie Hoos, like
the Luna Owls,
like really that's the matchup you give them, like, and hell, Vinyl said, no, not today.
Yep.
And then I'm thinking, like, I had to put on my tinfoil hat, and I'm like, did they do this on purpose so that they weren't in the finals? Because then it's like causing all this, freaking drama. But either way, they weren't in the finals, so I was glad about that. I was like, I don't give a shit who wins as long as it's not them. I had seen this tweet on social media on the post talking about the Owls getting kicked out, and whoever it was said, I guess they hootie hooed too much during the regular season. I was freaking cracking up for like 3 hours.
Hoo yourself out the playoffs.
Yeah. So give me your thoughts on the playoffs yesterday and then today, how the finals ended up.
Yeah, I think yesterday it was playoff basketball. I think we should start there. Yep. I mean, both games were very exciting, very, very competitive from beginning to end. It felt like high stakes playoff atmosphere. If you're a fan of sports and you've been in that, high level atmosphere, you know how it feels, and it felt that way, even for an inaugural season. Like you felt it. So that was great.
Yeah.
Right. And you could tell none of these teams were taking this lightly. They were playing hard. The Rose Laces game, I mean, it was all about Chelsea Gray. I mean, she was in point guard mode. And this is what a healthy, feeling good Chelsea Gray looks like. I mean, I've seen her play against the Liberty years ago, and that's how she looked, right? Just unstoppable. You can't guard her. And when she's in that zone, that's how she is. I mean, to drop 39 points, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What a game. I mean, just you can't say enough about her performance. And it wasn't like the Laces big three didn't show up. Like Alyssa Thomas had a good game. Tiff Hayes had one. Kayla McBride, that's their big three. They showed up. But it was just too much.
And 12, yeah.
Yeah, it was just too much Chelsea Gray.
It was like there was no Jackie, too.
Yeah, exactly. No Jackie, no Kate Martin. As we know, they've been gone for a while. But it's like, we got Chelsea Gray and you don't. Mm-hmm. We ain't losing this thing. And she literally put the team on her back and brought that thing home. The other game, the Vinyl, the Owls, it's like you said, it was like, who's going to beat the Owls? They've been hootie-hooing and partying.
I was even hootie-hooing shit.
Freaking all season long. And Natasha Collier has been unstoppable, and she was in that game.
36 freaking points.
She came into the game, and she was questionable, they were saying, because she's injured, and she goes out there and drops 36. You know what I mean? Get your
typical day at the office for her.
Yeah, 36. Get your 8 rebounds, 2 blocks. Like, where's the injury?
Yeah, that's crazy. This is like an average game for her. This is a normal game for her, everyday game for her. Like
exactly. You would think this was game 1, and she was just fresh.
Yeah,
it was like unbelievable. But I think they let her get hers. And it was more of, don't let Skylar Diggins-Smith get hot.
Yeah.
And start to do her thing, right? Don't let Alicia Gray get hot. Alicia Gray get hot and do her thing. I think that was the focus. And shout out to Teaspoon, who you mentioned. I think that was a great game plan. Because like Natasha Collier is going to get hers. But don't let the secondary guys beat you. And that's kind of what's been happening. So I think she put together a great game plan there, and like Ryan Howard and Jordan Canada stepped up for the Vinyl. Mm-hmm. Dearica Hamby went into Dearica Hamby mode.
The game winner.
She was playing against the Aces, you know what I mean? And they got a good contribution from Ray Burrell. So it was a great team effort, and it was good to see them get the upset, if you will, pull off the win. Because I was tired of the hootie anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah, 5-9. I mean, they were the 4 seed.
Yeah.
Nobody expected them to move on. But sure enough, they showed up and showed out. And tonight's game was fun. It was exciting. They battled. That went down to the wire. They came out and said, hey, let's not let Chelsea Gray go off. But she did a great job just staying with the offense, and she was getting the ball to her teammates. So they were doing their thing. And then in the third and fourth quarter, she was like, all right.
Yep.
Let me show y'all what it's about.
Yeah, and the Rose outscored the Vinyl 30-17 in the second half of this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was like, let me show you what it's about. And like when Chelsea hit that long three at the end of the third, that half-court shot three, it was like, oh, it's on now.
Yeah. I was thinking, oh, Rose got this game.
It was like, oh, it's on. Yeah. You know she's going to be feeling it. You know it's going to be over.
Yep.
So it was a great final. It was good to see her get the MVP.
Yes. Congrats to her. And then, the coach's speech when she was, giving her final speech at the end, and she like got to Chelsea and she was like, our MVP, like, and talked about her like kind of just like taking on this role of like, not only like she, first of all, she like told her like, you carried this team all season long, not just yesterday in the playoffs and today in the finals, like all season long you have stepped up and carried this team. But like, you have to remember Chelsea's coming into this team with young players, oddball players. Like she got probably the shittiest end of the stick, and the coach said like, you took on this team's like underdog mentality from the jump, and kind of just took that mentality with us, and look what happened. So yeah, like I'm glad for her to get her shine, obviously after like an up and down, coming off an up and down WNBA season, right? Like coming back from the injury, and like nobody knew what to expect from her coming into this. Right. And it's like, okay, is she going to be back? Is she going to be tired? Is she going to be what, and the first couple games like were rough for their entire team. I think they started out like 0-4 or something. And then after, like they kind of like all just started gelling after that. You could kind of see like the chemistry just like before our eyes, like, come together. Like literally we saw this team. And like it was awesome to see. And just like I know that we kind of talked and wrapped up the Unrivaled season last week, but just to close it all up, just a complete great season from start to finish. We already said our gripes and everything, but yeah, overall just a great season, and the playoffs and finals did not disappoint, even with the injuries. Even with the injuries. So yeah, we'll see what next season brings, but for now, Unrivaled, you're done.
Well, real quick, Natasha Cloud in an interview said they signed on to do 2 seasons. So it looks like they're coming back. They will be in Miami, but they actually started talks on maybe playing in some other places as well. So they've already got things in motion for next season, for season 2. So we should be hearing news coming up sometime soon.
Okay, good. Let me pull up these. Thank you. We'll get into some WNBA talk. Chat, what's up? See you. Throwback, Don, Rob, Jay, what's up? Appreciate y'all. Let me pull up this because we actually had a big move that went down. We talked about this last week, whether this was going to happen. And it happened.
It went down.
Pull this up. All right. So, and out of all teams, like, oh, God. But anyways, Natasha Cloud was traded from the Sun to the Liberty for 2 first-round picks, one for this upcoming draft and one for the draft next year. This upcoming one is pick 7, I believe. So great pick.
Yep.
Let's kind of get into a little bit about, I found this article and they kind of graded both sides of it. And, I thought pretty fairly. Now, obviously, like I was super happy for Natasha getting out of there. Like you knew from the jump, everything that we've heard, she didn't want to be there. She was very pissed off that she was traded there. Asked for a trade like literally as soon as she hit the freaking door. And so, I'm glad that they did one good thing this season and actually traded her. Now, the fact that you trade her to the fucking Liberty, like, makes me sick. Like, I do not want to see them getting better, right? Like, come on. But, I think that's a great fit for her.
Oh, yeah.
So the details, like I said, Liberty get guard Natasha Cloud, the Sun get number 7 overall pick in the 2025 WNBA draft and a 2026 first round pick. Now, it says the New York Liberty grade. Now they grade the New York side a B. Now, first, I thought this was, let me just jump ahead to this because I thought this was very awesome. The fact that out of all teams you could get traded to, the team that your girlfriend signed up to play with, like just a few weeks ago, like perfect, right? And then you're getting traded to like the team that just won a championship. So
exactly,
you're getting traded from the team that's like down in the freaking dumpsters. Like we literally talked about them last week being like a complete dumpster fire. To the championship team that now like has a great, and I hate to say this, chance to like return. They're stacked. And just like got better. So pretty crazy. Now, obviously the fit, I think obviously is great. This kind of gets into that. But the reason they didn't give them an A because the cost, the 2 first round picks, and the fact that this year's first round pick is the number 7 overall. Like that's a very rich pick, right? So not only are you giving up your first round pick this year, now that leaves the Liberty with only 1 pick in this year's draft, and that's literally the last pick of the draft. So like that person, girl, I hate to say this, but probably not even going to make the roster. Now, then you're giving up a first round pick in next year's draft too. Like, so back-to-back drafts with no first round pick now. So you're banking and hoping and praying that you win the championship this year because your future is up in the freaking air now. Now on the Connecticut side, they gave it an A-. And says, and this is exactly what we talked about last year. Like last week, that they got rid of their entire team and we went through their draft picks for this upcoming draft. And it was like, that's all that they have. Like, how do you get rid of every starter off your team and still have shit draft picks? So the fact that they were able to turn a player that you literally just got that didn't want to be there anyway, that has not even suited up for your team, traded them out of there and made 2 first round picks. Like shit, like you're sitting pretty right now. And now because their team's already shit, so hopefully they're hoping they can turn those 2 first round picks into 2 starters, and you're looking pretty and sitting pretty for your freaking rebuild. Now they talk about what are they doing with Marina, because remember, she asked for the trade. They denied the trade. It's like, and this is what I still keep coming back to. They're showing by trading Natasha Cloud too, that you're under a complete rebuild. No questions about it. So why are you keeping Mabry there to suffer? Why don't you try to trade her and get the best draft picks that you could possibly get and use those towards your rebuild? Like, hello? So, they talked about, the only thing that maybe like you're using her as your piece and like they don't want to admit like, oh, we just traded for her last season and it didn't work. Like, and that's the team. That's the thing is like so many teams, and we see this all across all sports. They never want to admit that they're wrong. So they'll hang on to a player way too long, 49ers, and just because the coach don't want to admit that they've made a wrong mistake, that they've made a mistake. But shit, they got rid of her. We're able to get 2 firsts, so they graded them better in this deal. What are your thoughts, and who do you think got the better end of this deal?
To me, it's definitely the Liberty. I think they got the better end because they were void of a point guard, at least one with experience, right? One with some pedigree. They got one. And not only did they get a good point guard, they got one of the best defenders in the league to boot. So it's like getting 2 for 1.
Yeah.
It was a total win-win for them. And for the Liberty personally, from being a fan of this game and living here, they've been wanting to get Natasha Cloud for years and made a pitch to her years ago when she was in Washington and it didn't work, and have always kept their eye on her. And now they finally got her. And I'm sure they are in cloud 9. Oh, pun. Yeah. So like, it just fits. It works for them. So like I said, they need a point guard. They had a hole there. They just filled it in a big, big way.
Mm-hmm.
This definitely puts them right back into title contention, right? Because she's an upgrade over Courtney Vandersloot at this point.
Yeah.
Right in their careers. Like like I said, not a lot of liability on offense, on defense. It's going to give you full energy on offense. She can go get her shots if she wants to, or just be a facilitator. Like, she's a total team player. So, sucks. But the Liberty are excited. Their fans are going to be excited. Love her. Yeah. And like, she's excited. I don't know if you saw the video she put out. Like, she was smiling from ear to ear. New York, you're getting a dog. Nah, nah, nah. You just happy to go be with Izzy every day. We know.
Yeah.
We know. We know. But props to her. She's going to have fun. She's going to love it in New York. For the freaking Sun, I say it's good for them. I'd give them an A, because like, to have nothing on the roster with no picks, like,
yeah,
you is going to really be struggling. I mean, they're going to struggle regardless, because like, we went over their roster, was it last week or the week before? It is bare. It is bare. They got like Marina, Tina, and a whole bunch of others. Yeah, that's it. So at least
people we never heard of.
Yeah, at least they got a high pick here to get somebody that can add something. But they're gonna they're in a complete rebuild mode.
Crazy.
So it's gonna be rough for them for a few seasons. Like, when we go over the standings, you can easily see Connecticut at the bottom. I've already pictured it. How we go through, and like this year, I was like Washington at the bottom, or maybe Dallas was down there. I can see the whole next season, it's just Connecticut down there the whole season. Like, that's where they're going to be. So, but it's good they got some value. I mean, good value from a player who didn't want to be there. So it was a smart move for him.
I really hope, for Mabry's sake, that they do the right thing and just trade her. Like,
get her somewhere. Because we saw last season the difference, like a frustrated Marina is and a happy Marina.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when she was in Chicago and looking frustrating, she couldn't hit the side of a barn.
Right.
And she goes to Connecticut, all of a sudden she's happy and she's making threes and playing around with Dejanay Carrington, and now she's in Miami dancing. Like, man. So yeah, get her somewhere to keep her happy, so she could be the good player we know she is.
Since y'all traded literally traded away all her happiness.
Yeah, exactly. Like she ain't signed up for that. My goodness.
All right. Let's take a look
Dun,
at this.
dun, dun.
A1s officially are releasing. They released yesterday in Columbia, South Carolina.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Then the 22nd, they'll release in Las Vegas, of course. Then, for some odd reason,
I know.
they're then releasing in Florida, like where the Miami Heat play. Yeah, in Florida on April 3rd. And then they'll release to, the rest of y'all sometime after that. Let's take a little look at these because I didn't notice these, before. We didn't have these close-up ass pictures of them. But just look, first of all, beautiful. Mm-hmm. The other colors I'm really loving, like the black ones and all those. Like, oh boy.
Like the black ones, the all black, the black and pink. Yeah.
But even these are pretty fire. Mm-hmm. But the details, like first, like this, very nice. Mm-hmm. Matching the swoosh. The signature in the back, beautiful. But then you look at this.
Yep.
Weakness. Wait, there's one that shows the whole thing. Let me get to somewhere. I guess this is the best one. We don't got time for that.
Yep.
I'm like, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
And then even the bottom of the shoe is like so nice.
Yep.
Like with the, like her sign again, the A1 sign in there. Just very, very nice shoe. Everybody, I mean, I don't really think the people that, she's given the releases to, that they would be sitting up there saying, like, this shoe sucks. It's not comfortable. So take it for what it is. But everybody I've seen that has a pair have all talked about how comfortable they are.
Yeah.
So not only obviously being a basketball shoe and a shoe you can wear to play basketball, but just the comfort level overall.
Alicia Gray played hers immediately.
Yep.
Like, ain't no breaking in period, nothing. So they got to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm. I know. I was thinking if that was me, I'd have some blisters in the back of my feet.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, shout outs to Asia, who also was at the Unrivaled finals today. Showing love, supporting her teammates. Your thoughts on the A1s?
We talked about this before. They're just beautiful. The attention to detail and everything. We knew they'd be something dope, but I didn't think they'd be this good. Mm-hmm. I mean, the swooshes, the little words of encouragement, the homage she has pays to her parents in there, the logo, everything, the colorways, just crisp. I mean, they turned out better than I expected, to be honest with you. And I knew they would be dope, but they are really dope. And we talked about this way back about how it's like not just a signature shoe. She's got a whole collection to go with it. And like, they really need to show more of a collection because it all complements each other. And it's so good. It's so good looking. Like,
yeah, I can't wait to see everything.
Yeah. Like it's been 2 years in the making and it's well worth it. It's worth the wait.
Yeah. It's going to be shoes for the whole family, clothes, everyday clothes, not just, basketball gear, like actual everyday, like clothing. So yeah. And we've only seen, bits and pieces, like a tees with these pants or this shirt or, like hardly anything. So I'm wondering when, now that shoe, like, not even shoes, just only this pink pair is the only ones. that are even set up for sale on those 3 dates that I showed you guys. So who knows, like, when the rest of the line is going to be available? When do we get to see it? When can we at least browse? Can we window shop? Can we?
I know, right? Could you put the collection out there exactly and say on sale at this date? Get us hyped up.
Because at first, the announcement was, shoes to be on sale March of 2025. Well, technically, yeah, they're on sale in, a couple places, but it's just like one shoe, just the pink shoe, so it's like, when's the rest? Like, let us know something. Come on.
Right.
Shit. Like, why does it take so long? Like, I know she wants it all to be perfect, but man, oh man. Meanwhile, other people like bringing out 60 different shoes already.
Exactly.
I swear, Ionesco, she freaking releases a shoe every other day.
I know.
I'm like, how many fucking shoes does she have?
I know she's been out for a while, but come on.
No. We really don't have too much to talk about. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nah, that was all that was going on. The big news was the stupid Liberty trade. Them getting that and Unrivaled going down. I mean, it's good stuff.
Now I don't know what
the NCAA tournament starts this week.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever want to like get a flavor of college ball, this is the time. Just check it out. It's so much fun. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of media coverage about it because it is every year.
Yeah.
But you should be in store for some good basketball. I was watching some of the conference championship games this week, and they were so good. They were so good. I mean, watching Montana and Montana State, of all people, and them girls was going at it. It came down to the buzzer, like a final tipping shot, like 2 seconds left. It was so good. So if you want to check things out, they'll be on all day. Just check them out.
Yeah, and now the Unrivaled's ended. I don't know what the hell we're going to be talking about till W starts. We might have to take a
little hiatus.
Yeah. Because there's not going to really be much of anything.
Yeah. It's just for a few weeks because, like we said last week, W season's right around the corner. So these ladies got a few weeks off, and then they got to get right back at it.
Speaking of that, before we get out of here, and we talked about this, and that's why we were talking about the short time that they have, from this league ending till the W starts, the injuries. Yeah. Just last week, or when was it? The other day, let me pull up the message. I sent this to Ty because all Unrivaled season, we hadn't heard nothing about this person being injured. All the injuries we had heard, talked about, so many players out, numerous games, right? And yet never heard about, where is the post? I thought I had sent it to you. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, scroll up. Yeah.
So Brianna, Underdog WNBA on 3/13 tweets, Brianna Stewart underwent meniscus procedure. Will be ready for training camp.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it says. We never heard one single peep about Stewart even being hurt. So I'm wondering how many, now that Unrivaled officially ended, how many injuries, surgeries, yada yadas are we going to hear about now?
Yeah.
That we knew about and didn't know about. Like,
exactly. Like, you just had, two teams play a championship tonight. They had to play. Like,
so we're missing starters.
Yeah, they were already missing people, first of all. But of the people that did play, imagine if, Ryan Howard needs something, or like Chelsea needs something. Like, you just don't know.
Better knock on some fucking wood right now.
I know.
We're not going through that shit again.
There we go. Knock. Right here. Yeah. But it's weird how, like, this stuff is popping up now that it's over. I was like, hey, you've been bringing in people all season long. Like, you should have shut them down as soon as they were injured, right?
Like, when did she
As soon
get
as you
hurt? The
knew.
last game of the season?
Right.
Like, why wasn't it reported if not?
Yeah.
Like, very weird. So yeah, hopefully, we don't hear. I'm hoping that we don't hear about any more surgeries.
Hopefully that's the last of it.
Like
Yeah.
Jackie Young, she came back and was the reason why the Aces even made it to the playoffs, because with her winning the last 2 games.
Yeah.
And then she was out for the playoffs. What happened?
Yeah. And it's weird because they showed, they do their behind the scenes thing. They showed her like on the court shooting.
Yeah.
Like getting some work in, but she never played. She was just out. So it's like, what exactly was going on?
An injury that we've been very skeptical of all freaking season. Mm-hmm. And then she comes back from it all of a sudden out of the blue. And then all of a sudden now she's out. Like,
yeah.
In the most important game of the season, you couldn't play. So something had to be up.
But think about how many months it's been. Because we were talking about this.
She played the last 2 games of the season.
Yeah, I know, but overall,
I know,
like her injury and being off and something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were talking about this since before the Olympics.
Yeah.
So that's
and even
June
after the Olympics.
Yeah, that's June when it started, and it's carried all the way until now. That is wild. And it's like we really don't know what it is. Like, no one has said definitively, like, oh, she, like in football, there's like, it's a knee contusion. They got a high ankle sprain, something like we would know. Yeah, they haven't said a peep. She's dealing with an injury. What's the injury? It's wild.
I didn't even know she was out till I didn't see her out there on the court.
On the court, right? Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I'm looking at the bench. She ain't even there. I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on?
Very strange.
Yep.
Oh, I know. She better get her ass better.
Yeah. You better take these next 2 months off. Go to a healing spa. Like, do what you gotta do. Call up Mr. Miyagi.
Mm-hmm.
Get the rub going. Like, you need to get right.
How about get your ass home and let the team, medical staff, and the facilities you have actually work on you?
Exactly.
That's
why they built all that.
Yeah.
That's why they built all that.
Like, can you all just get your asses home?
Yep.
And take care of yourself for the next how many ever months? Like,
exactly.
You had enough fun now. Asia been running a fucking muck for the last how many ever months. Like, It's time to just knock it the hell off. She hasn't even seen Las Vegas for months.
You know, everybody on a plane back to Vegas. Time to go home.
Yep. Becky better.
That's right. Start cracking the whip.
Yep. It's enough. Because we need everybody healthy. At least, we do have some girls that have been in Vegas working.
Yeah.
Like Megan.
Mm-hmm.
Kitley.
Meg's been, Liz Kitley's been there. There's some people's there, but we need we need them all there. We need them all there.
There's like 20 how many ever on the team right now. Get your all asses here. You ain't making them all there. Camp, okay?
Hey, sheesh.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow to talk football. We got some stuff to talk about.
Yes, indeed.
Or lack thereof, stuffs to talk about.
Yeah.
So bring your juice and be ready. Stupid asses.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Our soul survivor.
That's right.
But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Much love. And yeah, Everybody have a great night. We're out of here.
See ya.
Peace. No exit today. Ending the old fashioned way.